out here. I think I'll go get a drink. What the? What happened? Hey, namaskar everyone. How are you? Hopefully everybody's been doing fantastic. Happy Mother's Day for all the mothers out there. Listen, if you're new to the channel, I want to thank you for stopping by and checking it out. I hope you're going to stick around. If you're already a subscriber and you watch my videos, it looks like a really, really good day for an adventure, right? I've been walking for a little bit, and it's a little toasty out. That sun's pretty bright today. I was gonna stop and get myself a drink, maybe a little brewski. Looks like Renner Brewing's closed. Doesn't even look like it's there anymore. I guess it's gonna be a toss-up. I have to do a coin toss between having a Gwyn and stopping up at Noble Creature. Now, if those names are sounding familiar, that's because we are in Little Chicago. That's right, Youngstown, Ohio. Most people call it the Yo nowadays. But I think we should get to know the Yo a little bit more. What do you think? Now, usually when I'm in Youngstown, what am I doing? Right, I'm usually walking a trail in Mill Creek Park. Well, today, and this bridge is awfully noisy underneath. Today we definitely will be walking, and we are going to go to a park. Sort of. I'm going to take you to a cemetery for a walk today. Hold on. Let me explain how those coordinate with each other. But we have to go back in time a little bit. We would have to go back, let's say 1830 to the mid 19th century. Cemeteries were designed to be parks for people to enjoy. It was almost like an outdoor art museum combined with nature, and really for people to come and remember and celebrate a past loved one. Europe was the big inspiration in that design of a park cemetery. Now, if you're talking about the Americas, you would have to go to Boston, Massachusetts. Not really Boston, it was the outskirts of Boston, Mount Auburn. Mount Auburn was the first in the Americas to use that style of cemetery. And then other cities got the inspiration from there. And that's why I say a cemetery in a park, that's where they are combined together. That's what our adventure is going to be today. Cemetery. Now, a lot of my viewers, a lot of my subscribers are from Youngstown, we're from Youngstown, are moving to Youngstown, or they just like history and hiking in general. Personally, I think if you want to kind of take a step back in time and you want to get a feel for the beginning of really any city, you find that cemetery, and you'll find people that made that city, that developed that city, that were the founders of that city. But we're talking about Youngstown right now, Youngstown, Ohio. And today I'm going to take you to Oak Hill Cemetery. This is by far, now I might be biased because I am from Youngstown, but this is by far my favorite cemetery ever to walk through. I'm telling you, the people that are buried here are the founders of Youngstown. They had the ideas of Youngstown. They made Youngstown. And what's really cool about this cemetery as well not only do you have the big names and the leaders of Youngstown, you'll have an ordinary citizen from Youngstown buried right here with them. So I think we should start our adventure, right? We'll go walk through a little bit, and I think I'll tell you a little bit of information what I know about certain people, about different grave markers, different symbolism of some of the things on them. I think it'll be an enjoyable time. We'll get to take a little walk in. We'll get to learn a little bit of some history of some of the people that started Youngstown. So yeah, this is the beginning of the gate. Now, it wasn't always like this. These marble pillars right there, those used to be stone. And then let me go down here, this road down here. There's the wall. This goes all the way up and around. I think they got to work on it up in that part. But yes, Oak Hill Cemetery. This is a really great cemetery. Now, this was established in 1852. Again, if I stay 1952, if I go into the 1900s and I don't mean to, I apologize. I try to catch myself. A lot of dates, a lot of numbers to remember when I do my videos. But this was established in 1852. Now, that isn't when the idea of the cemetery was thought up of. Okay, we have to go back in time again. We're gonna have to go to the first cemetery of Youngstown, and that would have been the Youngstown Township Cemetery, and that was actually downtown, right where the square is downtown. Favorite view right there of the cemetery. Look at that. Man, is this awesome. I love it. I love this cemetery. A lot of nature too. We may see a lot of cardinals. But I was telling you about the first cemetery of Youngstown. That was the Youngstown Township Cemetery, downtown. Now, you're gonna go to the 1840s. Youngstown was being established. Youngstown was growing. Youngstown was gaining population. So that original cemetery, that was becoming a health hazard. It was becoming too small, and really it was preventing Youngstown from expanding out in that direction. So we come to 1850. 1850, some of the biggest names of Youngstown, some of the top leaders wanted to come up with an idea, an option of what they could do. They wanted to make one of the finest cemeteries around. And when we're done with this video, I think they accomplished that. We will walk up there in a bit. I'm rambling. And so there I go again with the 19. So 1840, city started growing. 1850, they wanted to come up with an idea for the cemetery. 1852, this was established. Now the dates get kind of weird, and you know, whatever, but listen. 1853, the top leaders, they bought property, 16 acres, I believe it was, off Dr. Henry Manning, which was the president of the Youngstown Cemetery Association. I don't know if I mentioned with that, in 1850, that's when the association became the Youngstown Cemetery Association. That's what the leaders established at that time. So they bought the property off Henry Manning in 1853, and in 1854, this cemetery was it was being realized. Now over time, they did buy more property, and things changed. They added some things and deleted some things and such. Now, I believe it was 1865, a man named John Brenner took over as superintendent. And he was more of a groundskeeper for this Cemetery. And oh yeah, there's a lot of birds flying around. And he also was a he came up with some of the carvings and designs for some of the older grave markers here. And then in 1924, and that is correct when I say 1924, they did a big renovation of this cemetery. Paved roads. Now remember, at one time, now these are brick, at one time these were dirt roads. There were no cars going through here. This was horse and buggy back in the day. But they did paved roads, they added drainage systems, fencing, and yeah, look at all the birds flying. Man, is that awesome. Yeah, they added the draining system, fencing, paved roads, and actually a whole new planning design of trees in the layout. So that was a little bit of history of Oak Hill Cemetery and how it became. And again, I urge everybody to do a little research. I like to tell everybody what I know in my favorite things about places I go. So do some research and maybe you'll find something more interesting or something to add, you know, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I just love it. Now I will say too, we're gonna go down, we're actually gonna start right here at this one. This is Chauncey Andrews. But before I start talking about Chauncey, every time I say Chauncey, I want to say it like that, Chauncey. So we're gonna talk about old Chauncey Andrews here in a second. But I told you this was supposed to be a park where people came to relax and enjoy, right? Back in the day, this wasn't here. This bridge wasn't here. Now there might have been some dirt roads coming down here. That building wouldn't be there. And as a matter of fact, that's the old South Side Hospital. To me, it was always creepy. It kind of still is. But yeah, none of this would have been, none of this stuff, this noise wouldn't be here. It would have been quiet. This whole area would have been farmland, fields and farmland. Obviously we had, the city would have been here. Some of that skyline back in the day wouldn't have been there. Some of those buildings are newer. Yeah, you would have been able to see to Briar Hill from here. But keep that in mind when we're walking through, because I don't know how much noise is heard in the background, but it's like, man, it's awfully noisy there. At one time it wasn't. But look at I'm telling you, this is my favorite view. These are my 3 favorite mausoleums here. Look at that. Boy, is that great. Wow. So right here, Chauncey, good old Chauncey Andrews. And I'll get a close-up look. Yep, Chauncey Andrews. First millionaire of Youngstown, right here. First millionaire. As you'll see, Youngstown had a lot of millionaires. A couple millionaire rows in Youngstown. But this is Chauncey Andrews. First millionaire. His dad actually had a hotel down on Federal Street in Youngstown called the Mansion House. Now, his original house where he lived was on was it, somebody waved to me, so I lost train of thought. Chauncey lived where Ursuline High School is now. That's where Chauncey Andrews lived. That's where his house was. Really good guy. I didn't know him personally, obviously, but he was a really giving guy. There was once a story about him. Let's walk around while I talk. I think I can do that at the same time. There's a story about him that he once asked for a list of the poorest people of Youngstown. Yeah, look at that. This is nice. I hope that sunlight isn't, I know I say it in every video, but I hope the sunlight doesn't affect anything. Yeah, it looks like a window's out of that one. They had to put wood in there. Wow. But the story goes is he once asked for a list of the poorest people of Youngstown. When he got that list, he looked it over and he sent a half cart of coal to every name that was on that list. But he did not want anyone to know that he was the one that sent it to him. He wanted to be anonymous. And that's just the type of person he was. He was a really giving person. And I don't know if the date's on here. Let me see if I can find the date. I guess, I mean, death is always sad, of course. I don't see the date on here. I thought there would be a date on here, but maybe not on some of the mausoleums. I don't know. Well, he died on Christmas Day. Now, if anybody knows the name William McKinley was once governor of Ohio. He was a pallbearer at Chauncey's funeral. So, yep, that is Chauncey Andrews. Nice little wall there, huh? Yeah, I know a little about this one. This would be John Logan. John Logan right here. I actually should start telling a story about his father. His father was a general in the Civil War. I know there was a lot of generals in the Civil War, right? But his dad was the person who made Memorial Day a national holiday. Pretty big deal, right? And it's kind of cool because Memorial Day is right around the corner. I think, what is it, in a couple weeks, I think? That's John Logan. That was the story of his dad, the general of the Civil War. Now, after the Spanish-American War, John went into the military, and he ended up going into he ended up getting sent to the Philippines. He probably didn't know that he was not going to come back alive. I like walking around these. Sometimes they have different things. Mausoleums have different designs in some of these. But he ended up going to the Philippines. He was shot and killed by a sniper. And months went by. Youngstown, well, his family was finally able to get his body back to Youngstown. You know, some of these, I like some of these. I think some of these were replaced, but sometimes they have stained glass windows and it looks really cool. And I think there's some up there that we're gonna see. And I'll show you some detail of the mausoleum. But yeah, his body finally came back to Youngstown. And the Vindicator covered the whole story about John. Now, if you don't know what the Vindicator is, the Vindicator, I was gonna say it is a Youngstown newspaper. It still gets printed, but it's not printed by the Vindicator printing company. The Vindicator printing company no longer exists, which is sad. And that just happened recently, not too many years ago that happened. But the Vindicator covered his whole story, and he did receive a Medal of Honor. Now, what's interesting, you know what? Yeah, there's some flowers. I'm just standing around there. You want to see some different things too. You just don't want to hear me talk. So I'll get up close to some of these. There's the thing. Looks like a peephole in there. That's kind of creepy. People inside looking out. Boy. But what's, I was gonna say original. I don't know what the word is. It's unique, I guess. John has a mausoleum, but he also has a military headstone, which is very, very rare to have. Very rare. I think this would have been a star on there. I don't see it. But yeah, it's rare to have a mausoleum and a military headstone. Yeah, I was John Logan. I think I'm actually gonna finish up at the end of our tour. We'll finish up over on that side because there's an interesting mausoleum over that way. A lot of people coming in here today. That wall, I always like that wall. I did some senior photos at this cemetery here. Now, I'm gonna tell everybody, I don't know everything about everybody in this cemetery. I know the stories I like. I know some facts about the people that I like. So I don't want to hear you yelling through the screen, hey, what about that one? What about that one? Because what did I say a little bit? When you watch my videos and you like them, and it makes you want to go out and check these places out that I go to, do some research on your own. Try to find some more facts and share those facts. That's what makes this whole thing great, that everybody can share now. You know, the sign of the times. Everybody can share things and learn new information. That tree looks nice. That's just, you know what this kind of reminds me of? These colors and stuff is Washington, D.C. And there's another monument up here that reminds me of Washington, D.C. too. It reminds me of the Washington Monument. Some more. You know, another thing to do when you're at a cemetery, I like to say names. I like to call, it's almost like I'm respecting these people by saying their names out loud. I like to do that. So if you hear me just blurt out a name, that's what I'm doing. I'm showing my respect by saying their name. I want to go check that one out up there too. It's just, it looks so gothic up there. Yep, nice brick road right there, right? This is a nice walk. It's an enjoyable walk. Now, you want to talk about some symbolism. Robert McVarty. And I don't know anything about him, but I know that he has a pretty big grave marker here. And I believe now things change, so the symbolism in the cemeteries, some people argue what it means, and some, you know, so the column is supposed to be for strength, sometimes head of the household, because that head of the household held the family together. When you look up there, there's an urn at the very top. That would mean immortality up there, which would be his ashes up in the urn. That's actually a nice view. Look at that. The sky is beautiful today. Wow. That is great. That is awesome. We'll go take a walk up here at this one. I always like the look of this one. It just looked really gothic. Look at that. I think I have 2 people that I did senior pictures here because they like this mausoleum. Yeah, see the nature up in here, just the trees, the sky. Just imagine if that noise was in here with the highway and such. But yeah, see how Gothic this looks? We can get a view from the top as well. I think you can see in this one. Yeah. You can see in it. Warner Arms and Fanny Wick Arms. Okay, and what does that one say over there? Jonathan Warner, Myron Arms. So this is, oh, they have them all around. So this is an arms. This is an arms mausoleum. Always love this one. Yeah, there we go. That might be a better view. Wow. I like that one. There's the Old Southside Hospital. It's just a creepy hospital. Now I think now it's a bunch of offices in there now. There's so much wildlife at this cemetery. It's great. I still have to figure out what these are right here. There's these around. I don't know if they're markers of areas or what, but I see those every now and again, like with like this one here. You'll see it has it right there, the S. I think those might be area markers. Yeah, so if you like Youngstown and you like the history of Youngstown, and I know a lot of you do, come over here to Oak Hill and take a walk through this cemetery. It's very, very awesome. Very awesome. There's another wall up there. Wow. Beautiful. William Pollock. I like to look at some of the different designs on the mausoleums. There's some, what is that, tulips maybe, or roses up in there? Tulips. Look at that. Get back a little bit. Can you see that design right there? What is that, snakes coming out? Almost looks like an Egyptian kind of look. Thing back here. I don't know if that maybe would have been a window at one time. I don't know. You know what I like is where Chauncey was. You know, he was kind of a big deal because you see where his mausoleum was looking out. He was looking out to their city. Like the city was out right in front of him, and there wouldn't have been nothing to obscure that view. Yeah, there's a lot of cool people buried in this cemetery, and some not buried in the cemetery. Maybe we'll get to that. Henry Todd. Some engravings up there. That's nice. Well, here's one we can talk about. Beecher. You know, I'm gonna have to see what what that symbol is. I've just see, every time I come here I notice something different. You see the snakes coming out with the wings, and I wonder what that represents. Now I know acorns are strength. Yeah, there's the vault. I don't know if you can see. I don't know. Let me see if I can get that in there. Okay. This is Ward Beecher. He was a millionaire philanthropist. It seems like a lot of the people of history were really good people, doesn't it? They really cared about their city and the people in it. But Ward Beecher, he had some really cool hobbies. One was sailing. He liked sailing. And if you're from around the area or close to here, you would know of Pymatuming Lake. Ward Beecher won his first regatta on Pymatuming Lake. So that's pretty cool, right? And he also liked photography, and that's something I can get down with. So those are some really, really cool hobbies he had. Man, that's great. And look at the angel back there looking up to the heavens. Wow. Now, has anybody been to the YSU planetarium? That's YSU is the school downtown, Youngstown State. The planetarium is named after him, the Ward Beecher Planetarium. So I think it's safe to say that he was a pretty big star of the city. Yeah, I went there. Yep. Ward Beecher. That's awesome. What else is over here? Oh, I see something up the hill that I can talk about. There's Booth over there. When I see that, it reminds me of John B. Booth, but of course that's not. Richard Brown. Wow. Callahan up there. Let's go take a look at this angel up here, Wilson. Let's see, I think that, if we look up here, oh boy, some of these hills are steep, so if you hear me huffing and puffing, it's because I'm climbing up these hills. Wilson, let me get away from that sun. Looks like a mother and a daughter. Yeah. See these? That's what I was talking about. I don't know what those are. Yeah, looks like a mother and a daughter. See how nice this is though? Look at all the trees. We're walking through nature. Wow. There's another, where is it? Did I pass it? Hold on, let me walk up here real quick. It's probably right in front of me. It's the monument, here it is, that reminds me of Washington, D.C. That looks like a broken piece. Look at this monument here. Right there. torrents. That reminds me of being in Washington, D.C. Got the flag up there. There's another urn. See how they have the urn, which would mean immortality. Has the cloth draped over it. Got benches so you can sit. And that's how it was. There would have been a lot of benches everywhere, just for people to sit and relax. I do like that. There's some more we're gonna check out. We are definitely gonna check out more. Oh, you hear that? You hear that? I love nature. Oh, I forgot it just rained, so this grass is kind of wet. Woo. There's Lanterman. I don't know if that's Lanterman. Be that believeth. That looks like a Cleveland symbol up there. But I know that would be Lanterman. The L in the middle there would be Lanterman. Right there. We'll talk about this guy. Anybody know who that is? Warren P. Williamson Jr. He was known as the Boss. That's awesome. Wow. Now, when he was a kid, he was really big into radio and into broadcasting. Okay? I wonder if he knew when he made his first public broadcast, if it would turn out to be what we know today is WKBN. That's who that is. WKBN. He founded it. So that's pretty interesting. And it's right here. People probably walk by it all the time. Watch the news in the morning and probably don't even realize that Warren is buried right here. Let's go check out some more. Let's go check out some more. Look at that. She's looking down, and look at the tree in the back. Well, that's a nice picture, huh? Wow. Bonnell. Boy, it's so peaceful here. There's another angel. I think we'll go check that one out when we get to the top of the hill up there. Oh, nice and shady. Not slim shady, just shady. Now this one here, garlic. Every time, I don't know why, every time I go past this one, I think of a vampire. But rest assured, it's not a vampire in here. Now, if you do want to go see a vampire, you go up to Erie, Pennsylvania. Watch my video on it. I have a video about it. But we're not talking about Erie, Pennsylvania. We're talking about Youngstown, Pennsylvania. And here's Mr. Garlic. Get out of that sun. I think that sun's just everywhere. I think it's something I'm gonna have to deal with. Henry Garlic. In 1922, he was the leader of the Mahoning Cemetery Association. And he made it possible. He was the one that made this cemetery, it was, I'm trying to think of the word before I mess it up. It was the most endowed cemetery per dollar per acre. I think that's right. I think that's how I want to put that together. But that's, he made it possible. Henry Garlick. This is a nice one here too. Look at this. Is that lilies? Those are lilies. Wow. Ida Murray. Ida Murray Bunce. I know that name for some reason. This I find interesting. This almost looks like a drainage system here. This rail, and it goes on out. That's pretty cool, huh? Wow. All right. Yeah, let's keep walking. Again, I'm just taking a walk, telling some facts and telling some stories about things that I know. Feel free to come up here and drive up here and check it out, because there's more headstones up there and more people up there. Like I said, this was a cemetery mixed with the leaders of Youngstown and just regular residents. But I know I believe there's one mausoleum up there. Yeah, there's one mausoleum up there. I think there's another one up in that corner. Let's see. Yeah, because here's the other. Is that the other road? Yeah. So it's a pretty big cemetery, but it's not humongous where, you know, you can come here and you can just walk and enjoy a nice afternoon. Yeah, just look at the nature in here. Look at that. That's awesome. That is awesome. Merriman. Here, let me show you something too. We were talking about symbolism. Little chickadee over there. When you see these here, the lamb stands for innocence, purity. 9.9 times out of 10 it was for a child. And also, I forgot to mention, when we are talking about pillars or the columns, sometimes people will make a column where there's a Celtic Cross right there. That's nice. Some people will form the cross, or see, now I'm going all over the place. Some people will form the column to make it broken. That's the way it's carved, to make it broken. And that can mean life cut too short. And there's another grave marker that we will talk about, life cut too short, but it's not a column. Now we're kind of getting away from the noise over there. And there's a road up there too, because this is a whole loop where we came in, and there's that road there, there's this road, there's a road up there. We're gonna walk up that way. We are gonna walk up there. But see, it's not a crazy big cemetery, but it's big with its people, I'll tell you that. Look at the red and the green leaves up there, the way that looks. Wow. Sharp. And I think that up there was the newer section when they bought more property off Manning. I think that was the newer section up there, because you don't see many mausoleums or anything like none of the fancy kind of stuff. Here's a couple here we can talk about. Down, I've never been in there. That's obviously their office over there. And I think when you go inside, which I'm actually gonna take a look at it, because come Memorial Day, I think I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna help put flags on the gravestones, if it's a day that I can. I think they have old pictures in there and some old newspaper clippings on the wall, so I kind of want to check that out. Here we can talk about these brothers right here, Oscar and Elijah Hodges. Now these brothers here, obviously we know they were in the military, right? Okay. That is other star down there. Yeah. Okay. Now these two brothers, they were born and they were enslaved in Virginia, which it just sounds impossible that actually happened, and that wasn't too long ago. I mean, that was not long ago that people were slaves. I mean, that's human trafficking. Wow. But it is part of history, so that's why I'm gonna tell it. But these two brothers, Oscar and Elijah, they were born and enslaved in Virginia. Now, they gained their freedom when their master died. That just sounds terrible to say. But when their master died, that's how they gained their freedom. Obviously, they went to the military. Now, Oscar, his soldiers, he was part of the group of soldiers that got the Butler Medal of Honor. He was also entitled to the Congressional Medal of Honor. But guess what? He wasn't able to get it. Why? Why, you ask? Because he was black. Yeah. So they moved, after the war, they moved back to Youngstown. They were stonemasons and bricklayers. And I believe they were really involved in the first African American church in Youngstown. Now, when you're here and you want to show some remembrance to these two brothers here, remember the name Stephan James, because he was the guy that was the name. He was the guy that gave these brothers the recognition and the headstones that they deserved. So that's Oscar and Elijah Hodges, and I think that's the wife of one of them back there. Yeah. Or maybe the wife is buried with one. I forget. I think the wife is buried with one, or maybe that was the wife. But anyway, see, that's why I say do some research. I'm telling you stories that I know. But two brothers right here. I'm glad we're away from the noise. Look at that tree over there. I gotta go take a look at that. You know, one thing that I find a little different about the cemetery, and maybe they're just not allowed. I don't know. I got something to show you. It's like a little bonsai tree. Look at that. Wow. Let me go take a walk over here. There's a lot of Civil War soldiers buried at the cemetery as well. Here, we're going to talk about symbolism for a minute. I told you about the column with life cut short. Well, here's a tree, and it's cut. This would be life cut short. That was probably a child there. And there's a few, and we'll actually get one. You know, I wore this long sleeve because it was cool this morning. Now I'm kind of regretting it a little bit. Here's an I think this is an unmarked grave here. I always found this one kind of neat. Now there's an anchor. Now the anchor with the ropes with the pulley is making me think that he was a seaman or in the Navy. And I wonder if there was something up here at one time. It looks like there might have been like a little marker there. But an anchor could also mean hope. So yeah, I always found this one kind of neat. Oh, this is kind of cool right here. It's a little pool of water for the birds. Yeah, actually, this is definitely going to be up before Memorial Day. To be honest, I don't know how much help they need. We'll go take a walk over there. I'll show you the office. I don't know how much help they need, but go online and look up Oak Hill Cemetery, Youngstown, Ohio. Okay. Actually, on their Facebook page, look up their Facebook page and find out the hours, because I can't think of them at the top of my head, of when they're going to place flags on some of the graves. This was like the newest thing that they added here, I think. A little bench right there, little park. Look out. I like this old building, has the slate roof. Yeah, I've never been in there for some reason. But then I don't know anybody. I don't think I do anyway. I don't know anybody who's buried here. So that's probably why I never had to go in there or use it. But I do want to go in there and check out the articles and pictures on the wall. But yeah, there's their office. Might as well walk all the way around, huh? Nice design with the glass block. Another little chickadee up there again, yeah. Nice little arch bench. Huh. Boy, it's a nice day outside. Wow. Yeah. Columbarium Park. They were really proud of that, because I think actually if you do look on their Facebook page, I don't know if they update it all the time or what. I've seen so many posts about it. All right. Follow the brick road. We can't follow the yellow brick road because it's not yellow. We're just gonna follow the road. I do like how this is brick though. Cluck and Kurtz. There's another, let me show you, because this one's kind of intact a little bit more. There's another lamb, and that one you can kind of see. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. There's the lamb, Dorothea Marie, September 12th, 1900 to May 18th, 1901. So, a child. So when you see a lamb, That's pretty much what that is. Yeah, here's another one. Here's a couple. Yeah. Another tree. And some, when I get up here, I'll talk about the other one. I think it's up. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Here's some more symbolism. Some say this is when you see the hand shaking like this, you see the hands in there, right there. It means that other family members in heaven are greeting you. I don't know if this would have been counted as a column that was cut or not, because it's flat up top. Not sure. So yeah, I know this isn't exactly a hiking trail in Mill Creek Park, but it is a nice little hike, little walk, and we're walking through history. So don't think of a cemetery as gory or anything like that. You know, there's some more. I like the lilies. Got the lilies and the Celtic Cross. Oh, that's what I was talking about. In other cemeteries that I go to, I see a lot of people leaving things on their headstones, little trinkets and little things. I don't see that here. I don't know if it's just not allowed or what. But I mean, it does get messy a little bit, but I don't see anything ever on anything here. So maybe they take them down. Maybe people do leave things and they take them down. Here we go, right here. Here's a tree. Life cut short, right? And sometimes these trees, they have the limbs cut off. That could be for another family member, or how many people were in the family, whatever. The peeled bark back doesn't really mean anything. That gives it a flat surface to write on. Now this one has the Holy Bible at the bottom. That's cool. And when you look, we're talking about life cut short, right? Elizabeth Brown died in 1877, 97 and a half years old. Life cut short. All right, just keep walking, just keep walking. That's gonna be a interesting area over there when we get to it. See all the wildlife and all the birds in here? I don't know if deer come in here. I know a lot of squirrels come in here. That was cool. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There he is. There he is. All right, he didn't want to stick around. That one's kind of neat, huh? Yeah, very, very pleasant walking through here. see people coming still. I mean, there's still, that's what I'm saying, it's still a usable cemetery, and people still come here and visit. Thorn back there. That one looks like it's sealed up, doesn't it? The door back there. Ah. Beekner. Now, Mr. Beekner, he came from Germany, and in Germany, he got medical training in Germany, and when he came to Youngstown, he was in the medical field. But he had a daughter, and we'll talk about the daughter, Lucy. When she passed away, she left most of the family fortune to build a school for student girls and for employed women that wanted to get an education. And that building was, that home was to serve a purpose. It was supposed to be a safe place to stay while they do get their education. Now, Beekner Hall, that's downtown on the university grounds. It's still there, and it still serves that purpose, thanks to Lucy. There's those lilies again. Yeah, see that one over there? That thorn? We'll walk over there, right? We're already here. Yeah, see how there is another one I think I'm going to visit, I'll talk about, that has the same thing. Yeah, see that? Wow. And I don't know if you can see in there. Can you? Marm, don't go up that high. I think I know that one there too. A little bit about that guy up there. I think that's the one. There's another tree. Now see this one. Does it have more branches? Yeah, see this one. All the trees are different. Like I said, most of the trees have like the bark peeled back so they can write. But you know, here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes those mean family members. Again, life cut short. Here's some more. This is cool and interesting. Another handshake. The farther you go, I think the easier it is to see those. There's that brick wall back there. You know, now that I'm talking about the brick wall, and I think that's the wall. I'll tell you what, after I get done telling you about this guy, is it this guy? Reese. I'll tell you something about that wall back there, and I'm not sure, but I believe that's where it's gonna be. John Reese, John Bonesetter Reese to be exact. He was a Major League Baseball trainer at one time. He was also into sports medicine. He really was able to get the players back playing quick. Okay, he was really good at what he did. Now I'm getting flies all over. Now, what he was really known for was he didn't discriminate between rich or poor, because he really enjoyed what he did. He believed in what he did. So yeah, that's John the Bonesetter Reese. I think we may be able to see in that one. I don't want you to see my reflection. But I think maybe you're able to see in there a little bit. Yeah. They just don't build, they just don't do this anymore, you know? Now, I was going to tell you something about this back wall. And I'm not sure if this is it. But the story goes there's an unmarked grave somewhere along the back fencing, which it could be from over there to all the way down there. There's a man by the name of Charles Sterling buried somewhere here in an unmarked grave. And he was the only person to be executed in Youngstown or Mahoning County. So yeah, somewhere there's an unmarked grave. Yeah, we're getting cool. Look at the road. And this ain't the cool. I like when the buds are on the road. It makes it look mystic. And we'll walk by some of these, see if we can see anything. What's that? That's another. Oh, there's a hand. There's a hand holding a little tulip or lily. I think it's a tulip. Looks like a soldier. I think that is. It's hard to read these. Like I said, the further you step back, the easier it is to read. But maybe when you come here, bring a little brush and maybe see the names. What's this one? I don't know what that is. Look at this. Wow. Look at this. She has the wreath. She has a little scroll, a cross, an anchor. That one has a little bit of everything. Look at the wings on the back, huh? Wow. Colonel Claude M. Day. He died in World War I. That's neat, huh? Oh, he has his pack on in the back. Oh, we might as well just walk all the way around. See, a lot of soldiers in this cemetery. All right. See, I every time I walk through here, then my eyes catch a glimpse. I think that was another hand in here. It's hard to see, but I think it's holding a flower as well. See, I'm trying to decide which way to go because there's a few different mausoleums that we can go to. Which one do I want to go to? I'll tell you what. We're gonna walk down this hill, and that's another thing here. The paths are easy to walk and drive. And most of it's easy to walk to, but there's a few that people don't get to see because they don't walk down the hills, and you'll see what I'm talking about here shortly. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go down. We're gonna walk down here. There's the top of the mausoleum that I want to go check out, and then we'll walk up there, and that's an interesting story up there as well. Man, look at the lichen on some of the, like, look, here's Look at all the lichen. Usually you see lichen on the trees and stuff. There's lichen all over on these older stones. Up in there. Wow. Mole tree. Look at that tree. That's seen some years. Look at that tree. Now, right there, that is... It's kind of creepy, but kind of cool. Wow. Now see what I'm talking about? You're here. Not too many people come down here. This should be William Rand. Yeah, William Rand. He came here about 1802. And he was a postmaster for Youngstown. And I think he was, I'm pretty positive he was a common pleas court judge. William Rand. Let me get back, step back so we can get the whole mausoleum in there. Yeah, William Rand. I always hope the video comes out because when I'm looking through it, it looks so dark because of the sun and stuff. That sun is just crazy. It usually ends up being okay though. Yeah, like I said, he was a postmaster, and like I said, I think he was a common pleas court judge. Now when he died, he left some money, not all his money, but he left quite a bit of money at that time. He left, I think, a little over $30,000 to build Rand High School, which was the only high school in Youngstown until 1911. And the cool thing is, Rand High School took in any child from the area that wanted to learn. So that's what he left for the people of Youngstown, Rand High School. It's kind of cool. I wonder how far it goes in there. You know, I wanted to show you something too. I don't want to seem you know, cruel or anything. That's not what it's intended to be, but the little lambs, the little child grave markers, like there's some old ones right there. But you show your respect by walking up to them. All right, let's walk up this hill and see what we can see. Look at this one. Look, this has little holes in it. Just on the two sides. What's that about? Huh. Never noticed that. Yeah, I think some of these were supposed to have other things on top of them, but over time they probably fell or broke. It's another lamb. Yeah, all here. Yeah, because you can see, I don't know what it says, but I know the first word says baby. Baby Hallie, maybe? I think that says Baby Hallie. Yeah, see how there would have been something on top of there. Probably just worn off. Yeah, see, they have the names on here. Is that Isabel? Isabel. This right here, well, that looks like an Ohio rock, doesn't it? like the state kind of the shape of Ohio, which is kind of weird because we are at Governor David Todd section. And this section's kind of a big deal. Some say that this may be the most important section of the cemetery or park. Governor David Todd. Now his dad was a lawyer and a judge, and as like everybody, I think everybody wants to follow in their family footsteps, right? Well, and I think that's just the monument right there. Here is his actual grave marker right there. Well, he wanted to try politics, so he did leave for a while, and he did not he didn't succeed with that. He didn't succeed in the politics. Now he came back. They had a family farm over on Briar Hill, which would be that way over there. So they had a farm on Briar Hill. He tried his hand at the family farm. It wasn't for him, I don't think. It wasn't for him. But he did find coal on that farm, and that's where Todd's fortune came from, was coal. So he was a really good businessman, okay? And he was partially responsible for bringing the railroad to Youngstown. Wow. That is awesome. That is a nice one right there. Now, if you go back to 1820, he was already on the Ohio bar because, again, he tried his hand at politics early, right? What does that say? There's all the... Scroll down. Now after the Civil War, right around Civil War, not after, right around Civil War time, he tried his hand at politics again. Okay, you know what I want to see. I'm trying to see it. Is this all? Yeah, this is all the Todd. Just this area right in here. This whole square is the Todd resident. Yeah. Okay. Well, in 1861, he became governor of Ohio. Okay. Now he knew Abraham Lincoln. Him and Abraham Lincoln were friends. He was actually at the Gettysburg Address. I believe Abraham Lincoln offered him a job as Secretary of Treasury. I believe that's what it was. Secretary of Treasury. He didn't want to take it, so he refused that. He was in bad health anyway, and he ended up dying in 1868. But you would have been able to see his home. That's why I say he was pretty prominent, because we are on top of the hill right here. These trees wouldn't have been this high, whatever. You would have been able to see where his home was, over on Briar Hill. And I don't know how long ago, but at one time there would have been a solarium over his grave. I don't know if it would have been over the whole section right here, just over his, but there was a solarium. Okay. Man, what to do. There is another mausoleum down the hill that I want to take you to. I'll tell you what, I'll go do one over here. There's something I want to show you over here. Now we're getting into some very interesting graves. Now it's in the last section I go to, I think is the most ornate, and it's, wait till you see it. I was here the other day, and it was windy and it rained, but these roads were covered in all this green. So when you look down, it was just green. It was like an emerald road. It was really cool. Here's a neat, it's not the one I want to show you, but a double Saccharify style right there. Carry arms forward. Wow. This style here, that style of the double Saccharify, that's kind of a design from Egypt. Wow. Powers. It's a big name in Youngstown. Some more lichen. I'm going to show you a grave over here. It's interesting. It's interesting. Henry and Mary Arms Wick. Right here. Henry and Mary Arms Wick. Let's see if I can step between here and get that whole image. They got the main monument in the back, and they got the Celtic Crosses. Now if you look at the Celtic Cross means eternity. It's a circle. It means eternity. That's what that circle means on a Celtic Cross. Now, what makes this one different than the one over there? No disrespect to anybody, because that's definitely not what it's about. This one, we'll look at the dates. They died 5 days apart. Henry, December 22nd, 1915. Mary, December 28th, 1915. They died 5 days apart. Maybe they were meant to be together for eternity, you know. So that could be maybe a sad story or a happy story, however you want to take it. But yeah, 5 days apart they died. And here's, I just noticed this too, the Wick stone. Wick. That sun's in all the places I don't want it to be. Yeah, see? Wick. Here's a giant stone right here. Look at that one. Wow. How about that? It has the wreath going around with all the ivy all around it. See, if you look at the different designs in them. Mackie. All right, I think I'm going to take you for a walk down the hill. Not too many people see this mausoleum, and you'll see why. It's out of it's not really in the area where people look at. So let's go. Okay, look at this. Henry Manning. Look at that. I never noticed this before. U.S. veteran sticker. Or it's not even a sticker, it's in there. Wow. Now, there's another garlic over there. Now, we are going down to that mausoleum right down there. That's why I say not too many people go to this one. Look at the lichen. I know, I'm a big lichen. I'm a big sucker for lichen. But nobody, I won't say nobody, but a lot of people kind of forget that this is here. This is the Streely family mausoleum. Ooh, look at the weeds growing out from under there. Is that metal? It looks like plastic. Now the father was Cessany. Yeah, Cessany Streely. He was a machinist. He was another one from Pennsylvania. Now, he was the first one, I won't say the first one, he was one of the first ones from Youngstown to sign up when the Civil War broke out. Okay? Look at that. That's awesome. Hope the sun don't ruin that. Usually it's okay. Now, he was in the infantry. He did end up getting wounded, and it affected him the rest of his life. But his son John was also in the military. Now he ended up getting an ankle injury. Okay, and his troops protected him as well as they could until they could get him. That looked like a piece of paper sticking out of that branch. But his soldiers protected him until they could get him to the hospital. They got him to the hospital. He ended up dying of an infection. So his son is not buried in here. He's just memorialized here. His son is buried at the Chickamauga, Chattanooga Cemetery, I believe. Does that sound right? Chickamauga, Chattanooga? I think that's right. I think it is. So after the Civil War, Cessany came back, and he was into a lot of the veterans organizations. That is, I like the way Streely's is written on there, right? That's really cool. Now he did have a wife, Martha, and she ended up passing away as well years later. She was the oldest member of the Methodist Trinity Church. I do like that one. That was the other one I was telling you. Look at the door. It's kind of glazed shut. It's kind of glazed over. That was the one I was talking about that I would show you later. Now, just imagine if all this noise wasn't here. It would just be peaceful, right? There's the entrance where we came in over there. There's the wall, the fencing. There's where they're fixing the wall right there. I think I mentioned that earlier on. So let's talk about some like weird stuff about this mausoleum. Usually mausoleums, they have their family inside, right? Well, there is I believe there's a Charles Streely in here, which it sounds like he's part of the family by the name, but there's no record stating like who he is to the family. There is Maud Kelly. I think she was a friend. She died of complications after surgery. I don't know if it was after surgery or during surgery, but she ended up dying of complications. There is a Prussian immigrant in here. Ernst Kurz was his name. He had a lot, I think he was on a city council at one time, and I know for a fact that he had a lot to do with starting Wick Park. There was a neighbor, I believe it was Elizabeth Whitehead, and the strangest of them all was the family dentist. The family dentist is in there with them. Your guess is as good as mine. But that was interesting facts and stories about the Streely It's so loud. About the Streely Mausoleum. But look, this is what I'm talking about. These people that started Youngstown, their city, there it is. It's right there. And at one time, this wasn't interrupted by noise or, you know, modernization. It was just farmland. Man. So there wouldn't have been no noise. It would have been just peaceful. I don't know if you saw anything. I guess we'll see when we see. So yeah, if you do come to this cemetery to check it out, after watching the video, of course, don't forget the Streelys. I guess it wasn't that bad of a walk up here. Little bird on a headstone over there. Yeah, that wasn't too bad of a walk down there. I made it sound worse than what it was, right? There's Henry and Mary again. Yeah, I guess I was over here. I guess I could have just walked down that way over there instead of... Oh well, we got it. We got it. Timothy Woodbridge. Here's another. I never really noticed it. Now that's a sticker. See, that one's a sticker. Now do your research as well. Like I said, I don't know everything about everybody in here. I just know some interesting facts, and I like the people that I like, but there are a lot of Black Civil War soldiers buried here, so you can actually go on and get a list of the soldiers. I was checking out. There is a list of all the black soldiers that you could and find their graves. You know, go walk around and try to locate them. That's why I said, watch my video. Hope you like the video and it gives you some kind of inspiration to be, you know, oh, I want to check that out. Hold on, he was talking about this. Let me look that up. Oh, look, I found something new about it. You know, that's what I want you to do. I don't want to give you all the information. I don't know all the information, so. Now that one right there, I always wondered, Bort's. On the west side of Youngstown, we had Bort's Field and Bort's Pool, and I've always wondered if he had something to do with that. I don't know. Well, there's a bench over there. We'll go check that out. I just seen something too. This says Infant Armstrong. Oh, check that out. I don't know if you can see it. There's an angel, and then it must be holding a baby. Yeah, some of these are really old. There's a cool little inscription right there. Not inscription, but embossment. Yeah, again, usually it ends up okay. But I always worry about the lighting, because when I'm looking through the screen, I see a lot of light. Here's the top. Here's the top of that arms mausoleum that we were looking at, the one that looks Gothic. And here's the top of it. I don't want to stand on it. I don't want to disrespect. But yeah, there's the top. And there's the old Southside Hospital. See, there's the old part, you can see, because it's all that stone. That's what makes it look creepy. And inside is even more creepy. So maybe somebody watching my videos actually worked there and went into the creepy parts. You can talk about it. All right, I think we're gonna walk up and we're gonna go I think to everybody's favorite part of this cemetery. You'll see why in a minute. It's more of a monument. There's the Pollock Mausoleum down there, flag. Boy, it is a nice day. Yeah, we'll walk down there. I did tell everybody we'll walk down there and check that angel out, didn't I? So yeah, we'll go check that angel out down there. You know what? Let's go check it out now, because I actually want to end up over here. Is that a horse? I don't think I've ever noticed that. Look at that. I think that's a horse. Wow. Some roses. Jacob Stambaugh. See, here we go. We were talking about symbolism, and I was talking about life cut too short. So we know a tree is life cut too short, and I told you that the column, sometimes they make them where they're cut. Notice this one is cut. Wow. McKelvey. Bonnell. Okay, this whole section is my favorite up there. You'll see why when we get up there. Yeah, so you could spend a lot of time here walking around, researching different things. Is that a harp? What is that down there? That looked like a harp down in there. Huh. Yeah, that's a harp. That's cool. Whenever the pulse of life is found, where o'er his breath to arise a sound, something all to sing with one accord. Huh. You know what you could do too is maybe bring paper in a crayon or whatever, and do some, you know how you do the scratching thing, or get the letters, you go over it and it makes the imprint. Stambaugh. It's a big name of Youngstown. Now everybody loves this monument. This is the Wick area right here. And everybody, I'm going to try to get back so I can get the whole thing. Look at that. That's why I say this is my favorite area right here. Look at that. It has the W for the Wick in the middle. Two girls up top. I think they're holding a wreath and a palm leaf maybe. She has a book up in there. That's probably the Bible. This looks like something broke off here. Oh, you know what this probably was? This was probably a wreath. A wreath that she was holding. Yeah, there's the W up there. Like you can see the engraving. Yeah, again, like I said, I'm surprised I don't see little gifts up here. and such, because you go to some other cemeteries and they leave offerings for people. Did I show you this side? Yeah. Wow. There's a circle in the ground, in the grass right there. I don't know if you can see it. Huh. That's kind of different. Now, this right here is the largest mausoleum in the cemetery. Charles Dayton Arms. Let me get out of that sun. Let me get in the shade. Maybe we can get a good glimpse right in the middle. Largest mausoleum, Charles Dayton Arms. Now, he was married. His wife was Hannah. They had 6 daughters. Let's talk about one of the daughters, Olive. She was an artist, and let's go in the shade here. She was an artist, and she actually designed her own home. Okay, I'm talking hinges, doors, moldings, window style. She designed everything. Now, what's exciting about all this is, look at this. They have a gate. They have a gate, and then there's the actual things right there. Huh. Where did I leave off? See, I find something cool. What's exciting about that is we can still get to see that home. It's downtown Youngstown. When she died, she gave that home to the Youngstown Historical Society. And we all know it as the Arms Family Museum. That was Olive's home. How cool is that? But yeah, largest mausoleum in the cemetery. Look at that. Let me see if I can get back. What a view, right? Is that a cool view or what? I think her 2 sisters, Kathy and Caroline, are buried in there as well. Now see, look, if you see up there, look, she has I hope you can see it. She has an anchor and a chain, and it's wrapped around her. Wow. Look at that, you can see the lady sculpture in between there. Wow. Yeah, here's another, what does that say? The W for Wick. Yep. Here's another angel right here, and she's looking down. She has the roses. That's probably like for grief, the whole looking down. This is an old one here. Look at this one. Look at that. It's just, you can't even read it. What is that? Alcesar? Huh. That one's kind of neat, right? You'll like this. You'll like this next story. George Dennick Wick. That name ring a bell at all? He was a businessman. Youngstown, Sheeton 2. That's right. George Dennick Wick. Now, he was in bad health. He was in bad health, and he wanted to take a vacation. I just wanted to show you something. There's like a Celtic Cross image right there, and there's that circle. George Dennick Wick. Now, remember that date. Died April 15th, 1912. Anybody know what that date is? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. You're gonna like this story. This has connections. This has a connection with something that happened in history. Okay. Well, I told you he was in bad health and he wanted a vacation. Well, him and his family, they went to Europe. I don't know how long they stayed. They stayed for a while, and when they were coming back, they got aboard a steamship. That steamship would be the Titanic. That's right. Youngstown has roots to the Titanic. Okay? Now, we all know the story of the Titanic. Okay? It's supposed to be the strongest, fastest ship, and it hit an iceberg and went down. We all know the story of the Titanic. Well, they boarded the Titanic. Their ticket number was 36928. Look at this right here. Copyright 1912, Tiffany Studios. How cool is that? Now, he ended up going down with the ship, and the last thing that he seen was his family waiting to get aboard lifeboats, and we know that because he did wave to them. Okay, and I'll go on to the other side, but here's the one side. George Dennick Wick. Okay, and that's what I told you. April 15th, 1912. That's when the Titanic went down. Now, we go to the other side. I see people leave offerings here for him. Now, obviously, he's not buried here. He's just memorialized. George Dennick Wick, whose life was sacrificed on the steamship Titanic when it sank in mid-ocean. April 15th, 1912. Tell me that's not... No, it's a tragic story. It's a sad story. But I bet you didn't know that was here, right? Somebody that was aboard the Titanic. There's actually a few people here that were aboard the Titanic that were survivors. He was not one of them, but he was aboard the Titanic. Now, what makes it even a little sweeter, I guess, is his first wife and his second wife are buried right here with him. Mary Hitchcock. And I believe the other one, Mary Chamberlain. So, his first wife and his second wife are buried right here by his memorial. Fascinating cemetery, fascinating cemetery. I didn't look at the bottom of this. Ford. John S. Ford. Look at the dates. I mean, look at that. We're talking 1800s. How old cemetery. Betsy Wick. Here's another old marker here too. So you can come here and just swim in the history of Youngstown. This was their city. Oh, there's a bee. Yeah, this was their city. These were the founders of Youngstown, the builders of Youngstown, the people that is that a cardinal? No. The people that just expanded Youngstown. You know, I did forget to look in it, and I I want to say, which one was it? I would walk to if it wasn't too far. Where am I here? I think it's way over there. I think it was John's mausoleum. You can see inside it. There's a broken window. I mean, obviously you're not going to see nothing, but I think this is the tour of the cemetery, the walk of the cemetery. Not really a tour. I'm not a tour guide. I always wondered about this one too. I wonder if they had something to do with Waddell Park. I'm assuming. Yeah, look. This gives you a little hint of it. You see the green down in there, the tree-lined street with the green. Wow. Well, I hope everybody liked this little walk. I wanted to do this for quite some time, and I wasn't doing it in the winter time. But yeah, this is Oak Hill Cemetery in Youngstown, Ohio. And if you're from Youngstown and you have never been here, get up here. Get up here and look at the people that built your town. Okay? That's all I can say. You wind up liking it. Just park. You can park. There's parking spots everywhere to park. You can just park on the side of the road and just start walking if you want. It's not a big cemetery. I mean, we spent a lot of time here because I was walking around and blabbing like I always do. I think you'll enjoy it. I think what you should do is pack a little lunch. Pack a little lunch. You can have a picnic because this is a park. So bring your phone. Maybe put on some 40s jazz. Just a little light. You know, you don't need it loud. Just a light 40s jazz in the background. Have yourself some lunch. And just immerse yourself in the history of Youngstown. I don't think there's a better place in Youngstown to feel the history than right here at this cemetery. I'm telling you, if you haven't been here, get out here. Speaking, before I go, there are a few, I don't even think they're ghost stories, but people have seen shadow figures walking around the cemetery. And a lot of people, the most of what people say is they hear marching band sounds. I mean, that was kind of like the time era, you know? So a lot of soldiers here. I've never been here at night, so I don't know. Now, I wonder if the people that used to work at the hospital over there, if they ever looked over here and seen anything. I don't know, maybe. So listen, I hope everybody enjoyed the little walk we did. Okay, I wanted to do this for a long time. This is the end of the video right here. Not the end of our adventures though. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon. That way when I post something, you'll know about it. I do this all the time. If you're new, usually I'm hiking a lot, which we kind of hiked today, I guess. History and hiking. that's what I kind of do. Until I see you on the next adventure, better Malanga.